That series was probably the biggest statement the Yankees have made all season, and it has led to the Yankees almost guaranteeing themselves the AL East crown. What's going on, guys? The king of 161st Street. I'm back in another video, and Baltimore could not handle business on their end, leading to the Yankees having a 3-game lead in the American League East. Their magic number is now 4, and it happened in a series where things went right. The Yankees beat Boston Red Sox 3 games out of 4, and this was probably the best series win of the entire season. This series was full of drama, ebbs and flows. At times we were losing, at times we'd come back, at times we'd screw up, but there are some major keys on why this is the biggest series win of the year. Number 1, the Yankees have found their closer. Luke Weaver made a statement in this series, getting that 2-inning save in Game 2 to show all of his repertoire, being able to strike hitters out. Luke Weaver has been one of the most consistent guys out of this bullpen, and he just solidified the closer role. And if Aaron Boone does not name him the closer for the postseason, I'll be pretty upset, because he is the most deserving guy out of that bullpen at the moment. Number 2, the Yankees showed incredible fight. Just 2 months ago, they would have never showed. Being down 4-0 in the second game of this series, going into the bottom of the 7th, coming out of the 7th inning stretch, drawing walk after walk, with Gleyber Torres stepping up with a base hit, Juan Soto being patient and walking, Aaron Judge ending his homerless game drought with a grand slam to put us in the lead at that moment. It was an incredible scene, and it took incredible fight for this team to stay in it, because we've seen all season this team give up when they are down. The Yankees are not the best team when it comes to coming back when they are down by multiple runs. This series, they showed that they can flip the script on that, and that is crucial for the postseason, because let's think back to former postseasons where the Yankees were getting shelled in the first couple innings, and then a guy like Didi Gregorius will come up and give us a huge hit. A guy like DJ LeMahieu will come up and give us a bases clearing double. That's the type of fight you need to survive in the postseason, and this team is finally showing that over the past week or so. The Juan Soto walk-off, the Jazz walk-off before that, the Aaron Judge grand slam, and then to come back in Game 4 after the Game 3 debacle where Gar Cole makes the worst mistake he could have ever made, which is showing cowardice. Gar Cole showed incredible fear by intentionally walking Devers, giving the Red Sox life, letting them come back in that game, letting them destroy us in that game. Almost stole all the momentum that Game 2 had. When Gar Cole is on, Gar Cole will attack anyone he's going up against. I don't know what the issue is with Gar Cole. I know that he just said the day before, Rafael Devers is the most feared hitter he has faced. He fears Devers the most. But every single other time, he's at least tried to attack him. And in this game, he only attacked him one time, and that was because the bases were already loaded. The first at bat he hits him. Was that intentional? I doubt it. I believe the broadcast when they say this was most likely him trying to pitch inside, not trying to give in, and it just ran away from him. But Alex Cora made sure to tell you that it was intentional. Then he intentionally walks Devers, and everything goes downhill. He was throwing a no-hitter up to that point. You just can't do that. That's a terrible move. And it almost costed this team, because coming out in Game 4, the Yankees did not start off with their bats being so hot. In the bottom of the second inning, Jazz Chisholm is able to get on base with a single that goes off the first baseman's glove. And then Giancarlo Stanton hits a line drive into the outfield, and it scores Jazz as he was stealing on the pitch. And that seemed to produce life, as the next inning, Gleyber Torres is able to go opposite field for a home run, and that makes it 2-0. And then the ultimate kill shot of this game was Aaron Judge stepping up, homering in 2 out of 3 games as he goes dead center, hits the Mohegan Sun bar. That makes it 4-0. Red Sox creep back into this game, hitting a 2-run homer off of Carlos Rodon. We'll get to the pitching in a little bit. The Yankees hold on. They win this series as Baltimore loses, giving the Yankees a 3-game lead. This team is starting to show incredible fight, and it is much needed in this moment in time, because Baltimore is playing some of their shittiest baseball to date. If we didn't take advantage of this moment, Baltimore's losing series to Detroit, if we pulled a Baltimore and we didn't take advantage of their shortcomings, we would regret it next week or the week after that, when this division starts coming down to the wire. Now, with 12 games remaining and having a 3-game lead, the magic number is now 4. It is going to be incredibly tough for Baltimore to come back in this division. Anything is possible, but it would take a big collapse for New York to lose this division lead. Reason number 3 why this series was so vital was that the pitching staff was on point from start to finish, except for game 3. In game 1, we had Nestor Cortes on the mound, and he looked like a man on a mission. He seems like he's still pissed off that he was in the bullpen in the Chicago series, because he came into this game and he made an absolute statement. 5 innings of 1-1 ball, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. Let me repeat that. 9 strikeouts. That may not sound like too much for today's Major League Baseball, but let's remember, this is a guy who pitches 93 at his highest and goes as low as 81. A guy who tries to play up on his pitches, but will most likely always play more to contact than he will to the strikeout. And he still was able to get 9 strikeouts in this game. His fastball was on the money. His fastball had incredible life up in the zone. And then he was able to use that slider to go down and away, able to get these hitters off balance every single batter. He gives up 1 run off of a home run. It happened, but it was a solo shot, and that's what we expect. Nestor Cortes will most likely be on the postseason roster as a starter. Outings like this are key for him to be an X factor in this postseason. Limiting damage, limiting contact, something that Nestor Cortes failed to do at times this year. Limiting contact. Again, he pitches 93, so if he doesn't locate perfectly, that ball's getting hit. There's pitchers out there that are throwing 93-mile-an-hour changeups. That's not fooling a hitter, especially hitters to the caliber of Baltimore or Kansas City, or even Cleveland, with how bad their offense can get. 93 still not getting them out. So you have to be creative. That's the biggest key for Nestor Cortes, is staying creative. That's exactly what he did against Boston, and that's exactly why he succeeded here. In game 2, with the incredible comeback, we also had Clark Schmidt on the mound, who gave us 5 2/3 innings and only 2 runs. It seemed like he started to run out of gas a little bit after that 5th inning. But overall, what I saw out of Clark Schmidt was great. Coming back from injury, Clark Schmidt, I'm not 100% sure if he will make it into the playoff starting rotation, just based on the sheer numbers the Yankees have. The Yankees have 6 legitimate starters they can throw into this starting rotation. They only need about 3 or 4. Clark, to me, was always best out of the bullpen. Early on in his career, meaning last year or a couple years ago, he'd start and he'd look great through 3 innings. You'd have a lot of confidence in what he has to do. And then second time through the order, boom, he shelled. And now his outing of 3 innings, no runs scored, turns into 3 1/3, 5 runs on 7 hits, with 3 walks. But out of the bullpen, where you're only facing hitters 1 time through the order, at most, he was dominant. He was able to get outs effectively. He is going to be a key factor out of the bullpen in the postseason, especially because in the postseason, they're not going to let their pitchers go too deep, especially when you have a deep bullpen. That's where Clark Schmidt comes in. Clark Schmidt can give you 3 innings of solid baseball. That's a third of the game right there, and that is humongous for the postseason. Clark Schmidt has proven me wrong on so many levels this season that I truly think he will be a main cog in this machine going forward, going into October. And then in game 4, we had Carlos Rodon on the mound, and I have loved what I've seen out of Carlos Rodon in the second half. In the second half, he finally has listened, and I brought this up in multiple videos. Adding the third pitch, the biggest key to Carlos Rodon's success, being able to mix it up effectively, has created an entirely different landscape for what Carlos Rodon can do, to the point where he probably slots in as the number 4 starter in this rotation come postseason time. Being able to limit damage is the key to the game, and over the past 6, 7, 8 starts, that's exactly what he's been able to do. He's in the top 3 of Major League Baseball in home runs given up. Well, he's also the league leader in solo home runs given up, meaning yes, he will give you those moments where he fucks up, but when he does it, it's not in a concerning time. No one on base, maybe one guy on base like it was today, but overall, he keeps you in the game. He keeps it within 3 runs, especially in the second half, and that's exactly the type of pitcher, especially in the 4-hole, where, let's say, if Cole goes game 1, and then you get Luis Gil going game 2, Nestor Cortes going game 3, it's a 2-1 series in our favor, and we could give a literal kill shot to the other team in game 4 in the ALDS. Carlos Rodon could be the perfect guy to put in that type of situation. When you have a guy who you know will limit the damage, may not be perfect, and Carlos Rodon is not, he'll keep you in the ballgame. And when you have a series lead, that's exactly what you want. This series was so huge for the New York Yankees on multiple levels. The Yankees were scoring in a multitude of ways. They were able to fight back into these games and were pitching lights out for 3 out of the 4 games. We head to Seattle, then to Oakland before coming back home. Hopefully, within that 7-game stretch, the Yankees can finally close the door on this division and we could get that first round bye. Because to me, I think that will be the biggest key. Getting a break. Letting some of these guys who have come back from injury get a break before they have to ramp it up into the highest gear they've ever had to kick it into. So the rest of the season will be exciting to watch, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.